You guys want to hear a joke?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
You ready?
You want to start it with the joke?
Yeah, let's start with a joke.
Start with the joke.
Yeah, let's start with a joke. Got a joke for you boys.
All right.
So a lady goes into a bank. She wants to deposit $60,000 cash. And the teller's like, this cash, I got to go get the bank president. Bank president comes out. He's like, there's a lot of money, cash. I got to make sure it's not illegal. How did you get this? And she says, oh, I got it gambling. Gambling? She's like, yeah, I gamble on all types of stuff. And he's like what? She's like, well, for instance, I will bet you $25,000 that your balls are square. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, $25,000 cash. I got the cash right here. He's like, all right, let's do it. And she's like, okay, it's a lot of money. I want to get a witness. I'll come back tomorrow with the paperwork, all that stuff, witness, and we'll do it. Cool. She comes back with this guy. They go in a room. She says, okay, drop your drawers. Guy pulls his pants. He's got round balls. She goes, okay, I got to make sure because they look round, but maybe inside they're square. So I got to touch them. He's like, it's a lot of money. I normally wouldn't do this, but okay. She grabs his balls. The guy she's with is going, fuck, shit. And he's like, yo, what's wrong with your friend? She goes, oh, don't worry about him. I just bet him $100,000 that I would have the bank's president's balls in my hands this morning.
Amazing. I love that. You got to respect the hustle.
But you got to.
Talk about it with Franjez. First time ever starting off with a joke. Today we have two special guests. A podcast host, certified life coach, and men's group facilitator Vinny Brusco, and the owner of Lana, Vera, interior design, and Malocchio lifestyle apparel, Jesse Morgan. What's up, guys?
What's up, good gentlemen? Grateful to be here.
I like that. You came ready for the joke.
Yo, bang, bro.
Right out of the gate.
The hammer.
9 o'clock in the morning, balls in hand.
Let's go.
I like that. Why do you like that joke? Is it the dirty side of it?
I just heard it 2 days ago, and I was like, there's more to this than meets the eye, you know? Dude, everybody I've told it to in the past 2 days is dying of laughter. So spread the laughter, man.
It's a good one.
I like that. The hustle is respectable.
In all forms.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Even grabbing
Square or round.
Yeah.
Right, all types.
all types of balls.
All right, let's start from the beginning. Where were you guys born?
I was born in the Bronx.
My man.
Bronx, the Ville of the Bronx.
What's that?
Bronxville.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Ville of the Bronx.
The Ville
I
of
never
the
heard
Bronx.
that. Very nice.
Yeah, I was born in Bronxville Hospital, but I was raised in Mount Vernon, New York.
Nice, nice. Let's talk about the childhood a little bit. What kind of kids were you? What were you into?
Man, pretty basic childhood. Nothing crazy. When I was a little kid, like super into action figures and Ninja Turtles and I guess pop culture things. But yeah, that was lots of action figures, movies, video games, comic books, Marvel, DC, all that stuff. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
How about you? What were you
Being
into?
outside, bicycles, like, you know, like with the guys, like bicycles was like big thing. Get in trouble, start fights, arrange fights, like stickball, mischief.
Did you have a Dino GT?
I wanted one.
We all wanted one.
At one point, I finally got a Harrow.
Mm-hmm. I had a Mongoose.
And when I got it, it was like everybody was like, "Oh, we're already done with it." They were like,
it's over.
They're like, we're on to 10 speeds. I'm like, I just fucking got.
Did you have pegs in like a gyro?
Yeah, it was a big deal.
That was a big deal. I had a Mongoose.
You ever see the movie Rad Racing?
No.
It's all about like freestyle bikes, like bicycle races, and like, dude, we would just watch this movie nonstop.
That bike was
Just
the
go
Dino
insane.
GT.
All those mongoose, anything,
Yeah, I had a Mongoose.
anything.
Yeah, they were great.
You guys had like opposite childhoods. You guys notice that?
Yeah, I did. And listen, I did go out and play baseball and ride my bike and go on Pelham Parkway and play, tag football and all that stuff. I definitely did all that stuff, but it
I was
doesn't come to
definitely
the forefront.
inside playing like Zelda.
Oh, okay.
Super
Yeah,
Mario
it was like,
Brothers.
I think, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah. It's just a matter of what.
Yeah.
Duck Hunt.
I guess
Yeah.
it depends on
Shout
what
out
you
to Duck
identify.
Hunt.
Yeah.
Duck Hunt was great.
That was like.
Shout
That's
out to
funny. I was like, I've never been outside of my child. He's like, that's all I did. Like polar opposites. Yet it all blends over though. I think we're both you become a diverse person.
Absolutely.
It's not just, you can't just stay locked in your house playing Duck Hunt. You gotta get outside too.
Nowadays, that's what kids do.
Yeah.
The young bucks,
Yeah.
no outside.
It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
No bueno, bro.
It's scary.
Let's talk about the house. Mm-hmm. What's the food playing? The food cooked in the house and the music played in the house.
Food cooked primarily, probably Italian food. Yeah, primarily Italian food, and then music played. Man, I really don't I remember listening to Lady in Red in my dad's Cadillac when I was a kid. When we go on vacation, he'd put in the tape. So I remember Lady in Red. But besides that, I don't like music wasn't a big thing in my house. Like as I got older, obviously my sister, I have an older sister, and she was into like Bush and Green Day and No Doubt. So that obviously started to, lend itself into me growing up and listening to that type of music. But as like my parents, Sinatra probably, stuff like that.
Lady in Red, I like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lady in Red, bro.
Dance
Amazing.
with me, cheek to cheek.
It was a movie too, right? Which I never seen.
I don't know about the movie.
There's definitely a movie called Lady in Red.
Okay.
Now we gotta watch it.
Now I gotta
Now
look it up.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's with Gene Wilder,
Okay.
whatever his name is. Yeah.
But what about your food and
Food
music?
at home, definitely like hardcore, like Italian food,
Okay.
like for sure, like
Hardcore.
But like my mom was really big into like making everything from scratch, right? So like there was junk, like, but there really wasn't like a lot of junk. Like we really weren't allowed to eat like chips and stuff like that. Like we could have ice cream. Like there was some like junk cereal, but like the amount like stuff like Hawaiian Punch or like we go to somebody else's house and get that and like go bananas because it was stuff like we didn't really have at home. But a lot of homemade food, like all delicious, like, and it was just like, dude, this is what we're serving, this is what you're eating, and like that's it. And, like,
there was
you
no
don't like
three
it,
meals.
there's no like, oh, we're making this for the child, and the adults will eat this. Like, no, everybody eats the same shit, and like. And I appreciate that now because now, like, I eat everything. I eat fish. I eat liver. I eat,
Vegetables.
vegetables, everything. And it's because of that, you grow
Absolutely.
to like it. And then music, I remember, like, my mom and dad playing music, mom and dad having a record player. I remember us, like, being in our room. I have a brother and a sister. And, like, having, like, a tape deck and kind of trying to play our own music. I remember one record, like my mom and dad had, we would go bananas. It was like Asia. It was called. It was a group.
The group, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Heat of the Moment, I think was their big hit.
Heat of the Moment.
Yeah, and we would go bonkers and like put on like dance shows and like put on outfits and do these like pirate show type maneuvers. But I also remember like hip hop kind of like being new, right? And kind of learning about that and, getting into that too. So it was like very eclectic, the music,
It was like real life TikTok in your house.
Yeah, dude.
You know what's funny? It's because I have two small children, 10 and 6, and I think one thing that has carried throughout time is children putting on performances for their families or parents.
Yeah.
Like there's just something about being a kid.
Yeah.
Like we were at my mom's house not that long ago. And my daughter and my son and my niece were like, we're gonna put on a show, and like they come out and they do the whole thing. Everyone's like, yeah, it's great. And I feel like that's just like it's such a wonderful thing that
dope.
you like just has been going on seemingly forever. Because I remember doing it as a kid.
There was a show every night.
That's
Like,
amazing.
Nice.
There's a show every
Tickets?
night. There was, dude, there was outfits. There was like break dance performances. There was like a pirate show where it was like, there was imaginary pirates. There
love
was
that.
real pirates. Yeah, it was wild.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Your parents are like your heroes,
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
like
They put up with our
entertaining them.
BS. Like they just
Yeah.
sat and like they
they
had
loved it
patience
though.
and
I can
dealt
tell you
with
as a
it.
parent, as much as
Absolutely.
it is putting up with BS, and there's a lot of BS as a parent, you love it. You love it. You sit
The
there and you're
pirate
like,
show?
yeah, it's not even about the show. It's about just being immersed in the moment with your children and letting them just express themselves in this really artistic, unconventional way. Like you're sitting there like, wow, this is amazing. The show sucks, but the kids are amazing.
Yeah, all right.
They think they're killing it.
Yeah, they think they're killing it. They think now my daughter does do acting and she's amazing at it and she's in shows and she does all that stuff. But when it comes to like the home performances, it's so innocent. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's great.
Heavy improv.
Yeah.
It's good for the artistic juices.
Yeah, gets their
That's her
brains flowing.
roots.
Yeah,
That's her acting training. So
yeah, right.
The Brusco house.
No
family
judgment.
Show.
Yeah, no judgment. No judgment.
I like that. So as a kid, what did you guys want to be when you grew up?
So I remember being a kid and my neighbors asking me, what do you want to do when you get older? And I must have been maybe like 12 or 13, maybe even younger or whatever. And I remember saying like nothing.
Wow.
But in hindsight, thank you.
Hobo.
I want to be homeless. No, in hindsight, what I realized it was me just saying I don't want to like work a conventional job. Like I didn't have like this. I want to be a cop. I want to be a teacher. I didn't know. As I got older, it was radio. Like I wanted to be a radio DJ, and I did do that for a while, and that was a great experience. But I think it was just the early roots of having this mind that was entrepreneurial and wanting to kind of just do what I want to do. I didn't know how to express it at that time, so I didn't have a real like I'm gonna be at this.
Yeah.
I just answered like nothing, but not like lazy nothing, not like an office space like fuck this shit. Like it was just more like I don't want to work for the man, you know.
Yeah,
it sucks.
You knew, bro.
Yeah, somewhere deep inside.
You were ahead. You were ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
for sure.
That. How about you, Jesse?
I remember doing school report, right? It was like second grade, and they were like, what do you want to be? And my report was, I want to be a comedian like Eddie Murphy.
That's a great one.
Wow.
Yeah.
With that joke today, you're
I'm ready.
You're on your way.
Dude, I got pirate shows. I got this. Now, dude, on the path.
You're going to start a whole Vegas thing.
On the path, bro.
Listen, you never know.
There.
Malocchio presents.
One step at a time.
I love it. Yeah.
So did you like try to pursue it at any moment, or was that just a thing you wrote down at the moment?
It was just, I think I always like just admired like the ability to make somebody laugh, right? Like there's like a lot of power in that. There's a lot of healing in it. There's a lot of it's good stuff.
Going back to performing for our parents, Robin Williams, his mother suffered from depression, and he started trying to make her happy by telling jokes and acting and being a goofball, and that's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, it's spot on.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah. All right, let's get into like junior high school. What's life like? What are you guys into? Still games, still sport, bikes, and
yeah, similar. I think it evolved a little bit. Baseball, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Like just kind of normal high school stuff. Movies, like big into movies. I think that was probably a big part of it. Like grew up watching Mallrats and Office Space and Pulp Fiction and The Professional and the Seven. Like going to Tower Records and getting DVDs. Right. Like
the second time you mentioned Office Space, you like that movie?
I did. It's a great movie. It's a cult classic.
It really is.
Getting CDs at Tower Records. Like that was. Going to concerts, like that was a big chunk of high school for sure.
Nice.
So I remember like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, right? It's called junior high, right? Yeah. Getting heavy into like horror movies, doing the makeup.
Oh, that was huge. Yeah, that was big. Yeah,
you were really artistic.
Yeah,
bro, I still am.
Nice.
Getting heavy into like this magazine called Fangoria. Shout out to Fangoria. You know Fangoria?
No, I never heard of it.
Dude's all about like how to do the makeup.
Wow.
Like horror movie shit. Yeah. Getting big into that.
What were you doing when you did the makeup? On yourself or other people?
Myself and friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what? You would make like shows, or just doing it for fun?
We'd do it. We kind of prep for like Halloween. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But start like way early and like practice. Do it better. Yeah. Freddy Krueger was big. It was like, how are you gonna make the Freddy Krueger like face? Like all that shit.
Yeah.
I remember that magazine.
Fangoria.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dope.
That was cool.
It's mad wild.
That was a big thing. Like creating face paint.
You would have to go to a comic book store.
Yeah.
At least we did.
Where you'd bump into me sitting there.
And then we would get comic books too, baseball cards.
Yeah.
We started getting into girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
6th, 7th, 8th grade. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 7th, 8th grade was definitely like big into like baseball. Was that like Mark McGuire home run, Sammy Sosa time? Probably
I'm
right
older
around
than
there.
you.
Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
to say I don't think you guys are in the
Yeah.
same generation.
Yeah, but it was around my 6th, 7th, 8th
But
grade.
that was, dude, that's a whole nother thing, right? That whole summer where it was that battle for
Yeah.
the home runs
Yeah.
with Sosa and McGuire.
Yeah, okay.
Like that, do you remember that?
I was never into sports.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I
It
remember
was like-
videotaping them.
I remember like being in Brooklyn, right, and being on weekends. Me and my buddy would go to this recording studio to like do like house music tracks, right? And dude, the gypsy cabs, like they would go bananas, and we knew somebody did a home run
Oh,
because you would hear all the horns.
It was like a whole thing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I remember that.
that was when steroids were still okay, right?
They still are.
They still are,
Whatever.
really? Oh, I thought they were like testing now.
I'm
like-
sure they're testing now, but whatever. Who cares?
Allegedly.
You mentioned making music. You were making music?
Yeah,
Get out of here.
yeah.
Was this high school time or?
No, this was later. This is way
Okay.
later. Yeah. But yeah, me and my buddy, we used to, he was bigger into like DJing. Like I would play with it a little bit, but we would in our free time, we would go to the studio, rent studio time and, make house music tracks.
Vocals or just beats?
Like we wouldn't do the vocals. Every once in a while, we would get somebody to come in and do vocals. But most of the stuff was like instrumental.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you guys collaborated on the instrumental.
Yeah, a lot of stuff we would sample too. We do a lot of samples, sample disco stuff, flip it, kind of twist it, add drums, and that was the era when, dude, you would get this shit pressed to vinyl.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old are you? What are you, a vampire?
Yeah, dude.
fuck?
Dude, I'm gonna be 97 this year. You
look great.
Can't wait.
You look great.
Do you remember the first piece of music either of you ever bought or downloaded for yourself?
I remember having Bush Razor Blade Suitcase on cassette, and then I remember obviously Napster when you're
Oh, shit.
and like downloading music and.
Remember the first thing you downloaded?
So I don't remember the first thing I downloaded, but I do remember thinking that I was downloading. It was either Nirvana covering Enter Sandman, and it ended up being Wesley Willis. Do you know who Wesley Willis is?
No.
Wesley Willis was this musician, I guess you'd call him. I don't know if he had any type of mental disorder, but he would sing these songs that were completely outrageous, like "Suck My Dog's Dick." They were absolutely ridiculous
Yo.
songs. Do you remember that?
Nah.
Do you remember? No, you don't remember Wesley Willis?
Nah.
He was like, it was like comedy almost, and I thought I was getting Nirvana covering Enter Sandman. I was like, this is gonna be amazing. It takes an hour and a half to download. I finally get it. It's like this guy's like, "Suck my dog's dick," and it's
Yo,
like
the-
flat and monotone.
The infamous, you think you're downloading
Yeah,
something
yeah,
and you
yeah.
get something you did not want.
Yeah,
Way off.
like this is not
Way
Nirvana.
past worse, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So those are my earlier memories of downloading music. Not really.
Wow.
What about you?
Yeah, I remember like Aerosmith, like a Run DMC album. I do remember this. I remember there was these. I signed up for this thing. It was like if you pay 99 cents,
Columbia House.
you'll
Yes.
get all these CDs and bro.
You signed up for that?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you fell for it, huh?
Bro, they came in the mail.
Did they?
And, yeah.
It
and
actually-
they-
No, it was
It was
real.
yeah, no, it's
legitimate?
legit. It's
It was
legit.
like pay 1 penny and get like 10
But-
CDs.
I remember
it was
that.
some weird
But
thing
then
like
they
that.
held you to a contract where it was like, now you got to buy like 12 a year for regular price.
For the rest of your life.
And every kid is
You're
like,
still buying CDs.
Every kid is like, we just want the 99 cents. And like, dude, everybody pretty much I know got out of it where they were like, somebody like called like a parent was like, listen, this is a minor. Like, you cannot hold them to this contract. And like, yeah, Columbia House is wild
remember
shit.
that house, yeah.
I remember that.
But it was weird. I remember my brother's 5 years older than me. He was doing it. We had all the newest CDs.
Yeah.
He didn't send them nothing.
Yeah.
Ever. And
Yeah.
it's like they can't really hold you accountable. You're not signing anything.
Yeah, you get
They're
out
like-
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like one of those little mail-in, like a little
Exactly.
coupon-looking thing, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
that's how I started my CD collection. Like 20 right off the gate.
the rip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
done.
For $1.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that was it.
Good times.
It might even been a penny.
I think it was
I
a
think it was
penny.
a penny or something like that.
Yeah.
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 A penny now will send you like 10
Every
CDs
kid,
and then we'll
every
charge
kid
you.
could find a penny.
But there's no accountability. They didn't charge you anything.
Yeah.
No credit card, nothing.
What a wild time.
Yeah, that's why it didn't last.
Yeah, it didn't work out for them.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Not a lot
went
of people
under.
know about that. That's hilarious.
They went under.
They turned
So-
into something called Tesla.
Columbia House to Tesla. So high school, there's nothing else to touch. What comes after? You both went to college?
Yeah, I went to college, went to Iona for a little while, and then transferred up to University of Albany. That's where I got into really big into radio.
What did you go to Iona for?
Communications.
Okay.
Yeah, I was studying communications.
Oh, so you knew then you
Yeah,
wanted to
then
do
I was like,
radio.
yeah, I just want to be a radio DJ. That's all I wanted to do.
When did that spark start? Was it high school or what?
So I remember driving riding my bike in my neighborhood. See, I did go out on my bike.
My man.
And I remember the Home Alone Talk Boy tape recorder that he had.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And so I had that, and I would just go record bits. Like they weren't anything, but I was recording bits, and I just liked the idea of what we're doing now. Like when we were talking before we started recording, like I just love radio, podcast culture. Like there's something about it to me that I just loved. So I just followed that kind of inclination. So I went to school for communications, did college radio, went to school in Albany, which was fine, normal college lifestyle, pretty average.
You were staying up there?
Yeah, I lived up in Albany. Yep. It was fun. It was cool.
It was dorming? Or did you
I
move up
dormed,
there?
and then I actually lived in a frat house, but I wasn't in the frat. So I was upstairs, and the frat guys were downstairs. So we had all the parties and all the benefits of a frat house, but I wasn't in the frat. I didn't have to do any of
Oh,
the
that's
bullshit.
genius. You got
Yeah, it
all
was
the
great.
benefits.
Yeah.
All the benefits. They come upstairs. They'd send the pledgers upstairs to clean and all that stuff. I was like,
Perfect.
this is great. But I didn't have to do any of the
You
bullshit.
got hooked up.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was college, and that was pretty much it.
You graduated?
Graduated college. Yep, graduated college, and
The degree is communications?
degrees communications, minor in psychology. I always loved the mind.
Me too. I
Yeah.
like that.
I always
Those are
loved
two
the
good
mind.
things.
You know, and like I think about it a lot in hindsight. Obviously, if we all have these like time machines where you go back and make like the focal points and the things you know now, right? That you take and say, "Hey, go do this." So different, right? Like just focus on radio, jiu-jitsu, psychology, philosophy. That's it, and you're good, right? Who knew
That's
that
it.
you're into all this shit until you get to it later on in
Yeah.
life?
Yeah. How about you? You went to college?
Yeah, I did. I was all over the place. So I went to like Fordham for like a little bit. I didn't really like it.
What did you go for?
Communications.
What?
Hey, let's
What?
go.
Shout out to communications.
That's
Shout out
wild.
communications majors.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So I didn't really like it. Then I transferred to Westchester Community College, which I loved because it was all hands-on shit. So like I took like radio classes, I took like audio classes, I took like the math was like the teachers were dope. It's like the math class was, I think it was like finite math or something like that. The teacher, he gave the lessons referring to references to gambling.
Really?
So it was all about odds. So it was like if you flip a 20, a 10, what are the odds you're going to get like another 10? And like it'd be like, however he did it, he related, like it was all hands on, like very understandable. It was not like theory, you know? And I really enjoyed that, but that's only 2 years. So after that, I went to Marist to finish and I got my degree. And I liked it. I had a blast. But pretty much the whole time in college, like all I really cared about was like partying and having fun.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really care about like an education or like the word networking. Like I didn't even know what that was. You know, it was just about having fun nonstop.
Yeah.
You were
That-
networking with people having fun.
I was the people who knew
party
how to
crowd.
party. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was networking with them.
Looking back, that's what you
Yeah.
were networking with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
party crowd.
Yeah,
So you graduated?
yeah.
Nice. That's wild. You both have communications degrees.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you want to do something creative, but go to college, that's kind of what you kind of lean into.
Yeah,
I feel like.
yeah, unless you go to college with like this really specific goal in mind of like I want to be a doctor or a teacher or whatever it is, it's hard to, at least from my perspective, it's hard to kind of hone in on one thing, right?
What was the job you guys wanted, the dream job with the communications degree?
Radio DJ, 100%. Yeah.
How about you, Sam?
I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I didn't even care.
Well, you chose communications just because it was easy, maybe?
Well, I was into like the subjects, you know.
Oh, okay.
So like radio, audio, TV, film, like
Marketing.
that.
There's like marketing stuff tied in. And
Marketing a little bit. I wasn't
Yeah.
really that into it. Advertising I thought was dope. So probably something. I probably want to do something with advertising right at the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Probably.
So after college, what do you guys do?
I went into radio. I worked at K Rock. I did like street team stuff.
K-Rock. I used to
Yeah,
listen to K-Rock.
yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, so I worked.
92.3.
That's right. Yeah, and then they went to
Yeah.
Free FM and they bounced around a bunch. But yeah, I worked there. Was part of the street team. Where like so again, in hindsight now, with with everything that we're doing, it all kind of makes sense that all these skills that I acquired, like marketing, advertising, guerrilla marketing, going out, being on the street team, handing out T-shirts, blah blah blah, it all lends itself to where I am now. But yeah, I worked at the radio station. Then I worked from street team to board opping, so I controlled the board overnights. And then I did phone screening and for one of the shows. And then I worked at a radio station out in Long Island as a DJ. So I got to pursue my dream and get there to some way, shape, or form.
Nice. How about you? After college, what you got
Dude,
going?
after college is about like, yo, I need a job.
Yeah.
I need money, man.
Yeah.
I didn't care what. You know what I mean? It's like, let's get it going. You know what I mean? Ended up getting a really comfy job. It was like advertising sales. And it was really comfy. It was really easy. And then my buddy approached me. He was like, listen, I'm going to open a bar in South America. You want to come? And I'm like, yo, let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah.
Where?
Chile.
My man.
Yeah. It was dope. It was really dope
Tell me
experience.
about that. I never been. I don't even know anything about it.
I don't know what it's like now, So the country was like just kind of experiencing like true like democracy and freedom. So it was like uncharted territory, and people were really into like old school American rock. And then they had their own like rock en español, their whole like South American like rock scene. But that was the big thing. But they were into classic rock and then their South American rock, pretty much. Like hip hop or like pop music or like it wasn't like a thing. Amazing people, amazing food, amazing country where it's basically all north and south. There's no like east and west.
What do you mean?
It's a thin peninsula.
Okay.
Right, so it just goes up and down. So,
It's got to be a left and right, though.
but it's not much. If you look on the map, it's not much, right?
The little left,
So,
little right.
Yeah, the point is like you could be in the capital of San Diego, and in an hour drive north and go skiing, or drive south an hour and go to the beach. Like same time of the year.
Get out of here.
Yeah, because it's all north and south. So it's
like
all
California kind of
equator.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, really dope.
So how'd the bar business go?
Dude, it didn't go so good. Yeah. It didn't go so good. I think we did more drinking than selling drinks. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Great.
It didn't go well, but it was a great experience. I
Definitely,
love
bro.
that. That sounds
Financially,
great.
not so good.
Yeah.
Memories,
Oh, that's
Through the
great.
Hold on. No left and right, though.
through the roof. No left and right. All north and south, brother.
So you officially moved out there.
Yeah, I was there almost a year.
How old are you?
Wow.
I don't know, 23.
Wow, what debauchery.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
That's sick. How about the Chilean women?
Nice ladies, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, really
I
nice
didn't even
ladies.
see one before. I don't even know what Chile people look like. It being South America, I'm
It's a mix.
assuming. Yeah,
It's
so
it's
mixed,
the typical
you know?
mix.
It's so mixed, but
From light skin to dark skin to blue
Yeah.
eyes to brown eyes.
yeah, probably like if like you've seen like Argentinian women, they're probably
Okay.
not that different looking.
Okay.
Not that different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you come back to New York afterwards?
I come back, I get a job doing it was like real estate management or something like that. And it was lame, bro. It was lame. And I was like, I might have done it for a year, and I was like, yo, I can't do corporate shit. I gotta be off the grid. Fuck this. Then after that, I did 24 years in hospitality. Yeah.
24.
Yeah, in restaurant business. Yep.
My man.
Front of the house. Yeah. Great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was
24
north,
years.
south, and east and west.
Nice. Vinny, let's
Yeah.
jump on back to your timeline.
Yeah, so then after that, kind of like where Jesse was, I was in Chile. No, I was needed a job.
I thought I saw you there.
Yeah, good time. I was on the west side. Bro.
yeah, that's why you
beer.
didn't bump into each
I was
other.
going, you're going north and south. I was going east and west. Yeah, I needed a job, and I got into the car business, and I was in the car business for 16 years, and I worked at all brands, makes, models, did pretty much every job under the sun there. Up until a managerial level, and that taught me a lot. I mean, that, you know, I think it gets a very bad rap in a lot of ways, but it definitely taught me a lot about sales, about negotiating, a lot about myself, how to really take nothing personal, you know, how to just keep on moving, keep on going. There's a grind and hustle culture to it, which you know, is hard to replace. Unless you do it, it's a very hard thing to explain. But it definitely taught me a lot, and that was up until very recently, for 16 years.
16 years.
Yeah,
So
the bulk
always
of my
sales, never the service department.
Never service, always sales. Yeah, always sales. Started sales, did finance for a while, and then the majority of it was all management, which I really liked because I liked leading and I liked overseeing and I liked being able to guide people and help them grow in their own endeavor, which was fun. And yeah, and throughout that journey, got married, had 2 kids, which is the best part of every day and the worst. And yeah, it really is though. It's like it's actually there's 2 worlds of, like, again, watching your kids perform, like, this is the most beautiful moment ever. And then they'll do something like, wow, I want to kill both of them. Like, I love them so much. I want to kill them with hugs and kisses, but I fucking drive you nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So in the timeline, where does the Vinny Brusco show come in?
Oh, man. That timeline is 2007.
What are you doing here?
I'm at the radio station.
Still at the radio
Yeah, I'm
station,
at the radio
okay.
station. 2 of my buddies are doing, we didn't have a name, we just called it the Demo Show. This is 2007. They'd come up to the radio station before my shift, and we'd go in the studio and we would record, and I'd burn them on CDs, and I'd hand them out to people. I was like, hey, this is my radio show, because I didn't have a way of putting it out there. Like, podcasting wasn't really a thing then. Yeah. So we just hand them out to people, like, hey, this is our show. Like, take a listen to it. And it grew from there. We actually ended up staying together, going to a network, which I was just on one of the shows that's still on that network. We did a show for MLG, Major League Gaming, for a little while, and that was amazing, going into City, really amazing studio. And then went back to the original network, and everyone kind of started parting their ways. One guy went and did his own show, and I kept on going. And then at some point, I kind of stopped for a little while, and then I started recording podcast seemingly on my way to the gym at like 5 a.m, but they were really just like self-reflection.
You in the car?
Me in the car. And it was just really like my own journey. In hindsight, I was really going through like a growth period. I started meditating. I really started growing into the person I am now. And I was just recording it, and I was like, I want to get back to interviewing people. I love people's stories, their journeys. I want to hear more about it. So the first person I interviewed in that was Ian McCall, former UFC champion, and I was like, oh, I love this. I just love it. So I started kind of doing both, and then I just kept on doing it and growing. So I mean, almost 20 years that I've been doing some form of podcast or broadcast. So like I said, it's just always, before we were talking, I was like, it's just my muse. I love podcasting.
What does it mean to be part of a network?
So it was actually, it wasn't even podcasting. It was live shows. So we did a live show on there, and they had a channel. It was on YouTube. It was actually Justin TV originally, before YouTube. And it was a bunch of shows, and they'd be on one after the other, and you'd go on their channel. It became YouTube, but you go on the channel and you'd watch one show after, like a regular network.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And the Major League Gaming.
Yeah.
What's that?
So Major League Gaming was a professional gaming league. So people would play, whatever it is now, but it was World of Warcraft and things like that. And they would go esports. It was an esports channel and a whole basically Major League Baseball, but for gamers. And they came across our show through a friend, and they're like, we want to do some stuff that's not just gaming. So we went into their studio. We did a bunch of stuff for them. And I remember it was actually Christmas Eve, and they called me and like, hey man, unfortunately we're actually gonna go back to just gaming. And I was like devastated. Because I was like, here it is. Here it is. Like we were going to the city, we get on the train, we had a producer, we had a board, an engineer, we had the desk set up. It was awesome. I was like, this is it. We've arrived. And it was Christmas Eve. I was setting up the Christmas tree.
Wow.
And they called and they're like, dude,
Eve.
yeah, it was fucking brutal. And I remember I was just like, oh, okay. I was almost like, is there any chance we can keep on? But it all happens for a reason, you know. And then we kind of parted our ways as a show, but everyone kind of continued doing it in their own way. And yeah.
And they chose Christmas Eve to break the
Merry
rules.
Christmas. I mean, it may not be Christmas Eve, might be a couple of days before Christmas Eve, but I was definitely decorating my Christmas tree. So it was this time of year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. What age did you start your self-development journey?
It was probably right around like 28, 29, maybe going to 30. I started like meditating, and I remember actually being in my apartment and thinking like, is this all I do? Like I just work, like, you know, having two nice trucks, nice apartment, you know, so I must have been engaged, if not married. And I was like, this is all I do? Like I just stay in this cycle? It didn't feel right. So I was like, what can I do to like break outside of this and start thinking a little bit? And I started meditating, and then I started doing sensory deprivation, which is a huge part of my growth and really brought some leaps and bounds in there. And then just reading and having a lot of introspective conversation and peeling back the onion of myself to learn more about myself.
I love it. When did you start your self-development journey?
So I kind of started with basically just fitness. Right?
Okay. What age was this?
Probably somewhere in mid-30s.
Okay.
Okay. So I was really working on fitness and pretty much just how I looked. Do you know what I mean? Like improving the way you look, the way you move, the way you feel. But I didn't really get into real deal self-development probably till I started getting sober. So much later in life. So probably like 4 years ago.
Is it safe to say you got sober after you left the restaurant business?
Yeah.
I hear the restaurant business is the worst place to be when you're a drinker.
I mean, it can and it can't be. It you know.
It depends on the
depends
person,
on
but
you know.
At the end of the day,
I think
that's
if you're
one
going,
of the
I think if you're going into it sober, like it's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you're in there not sober, and then you're trying to you're in the same situation trying to do the same stuff sober, it's going to be extremely difficult. It can be, anything's possible, but it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of stuff around you don't want to mess with.
I'm currently reading the Anthony Bourdain book, and he talked about how crazy the restaurant business is and how partying just goes hand in hand with the restaurant business.
It's wild because, you know, you got stuff like I'm front of the house, right? So you got stuff going on with the customers that are coming in, and you got stuff going on with the back of the house, right? Which is like the cooks, the chefs, all that stuff. And you're trying to get the customers, you're the middleman between the two of them, right? Like they're ordering food, right? You have to get it to them. But there are a lot of things can get wild in between, you know? And a lot of that is the bar.
Oh,
right?
There you go. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it can be really stressful, really wild hours, you know.
Yeah,
Wild people.
Wild wear and tear.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Wear and tear in your body.
It's a lot.
Your
I
mind,
was doing six days a week, most of the weeks. Not 12 hours every day, but a chunk of days, 12 hours. 90% of that time you're standing. You know, you're carrying buckets of ice. You're doing all types of wild shit. You know, unloading trucks. Stay in shape, man. You want to get lean, dude. Work at a restaurant, for sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
busy. It's fast paced.
It's not just about like eating. You know? You're working.
Not if you're working there, no.
We're working here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in your 30s, what made you take fitness serious?
I think I just wanted to look better, you know? I was losing a lot of weight working at the restaurant just because of all the calories I was burning. So, like, I was trying to gain weight, and then while trying to gain weight, I don't know, somebody I knew was like, yo, I'm going to the gym, you want to come? And it was just something to do. It was like a brotherhood thing, you know, like, let's go together, let's encourage each other. And then you start to see, like, changes in, like, how you look, and even, like, you know, the amount of push-ups you could do or the amount of weight you can move. And, like, you get excited, and then you want to see how far you can take it. Yeah.
But looking back, do you know why you were drinking?
You know, it was definitely to fill a void, you know? Something was missing. And I wasn't happy with myself, who I was as a person. And I was trying to avoid that being in contact with that person I didn't like, which was me. So what would I do is I would drink to escape. And at the same time, also drink to not be upset. Or drink to make a happy situation even happier.
Well, what about yourself you didn't like?
You know, I just wasn't happy with the person I was, how I behaved, how I had a very low self-esteem.
But this is you looking back and seeing it clearly.
Yeah, you see
but
it
in
different.
the moment, do you realize like what's going on?
Nah, because
In the peak of
everybody
the
I
drinking.
knew was like that. You know,
Yeah.
everybody I knew was savages.
So it's just normal.
So it's just normal behavior, you know?
So while you were in it and you don't know, you're not clear minded yet. You're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You're drinking to party, or is it just to get through the day?
It depends what part of my journey you're talking about. But let's say like middle ground, it's just party, you know?
Yeah.
It's party, or like something bad happens, and like it'd be like something bad happens and it's bothering you and you can't sleep, and you drink.
Drink. 'Cause I'm still a drinker to this day. So drinking is like it goes hand in hand with anything. On a bad day, on a good day, on a
Right.
celebration,
Right.
on something devastating,
Right.
on just a regular Sunday that you have nothing to do.
It's woven into everything.
Everything, every day. You can always fill it in.
Yeah.
It just enhances
you can
everything.
you can find a reason if you want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you were drinking, you didn't see a problem at all.
Nah, it was just
It's
normal.
great. It's fun.
Normal.
It's awesome.
Yeah, normal. Yeah.
What about the hangovers?
They kind of became normal too. And also they kind of, you don't really get them unless you really overdo it. But like if like a normal person, like say they're like, oh, if I had 10 glasses of wine, I'd have a hangover. Like I wouldn't, because my body knew that shit was coming, and it's like prepping, you know, like immunity to hot sauce or whatever it may be, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're doing fitness first, and then when did the other part of self-development come after?
You know, once I went to rehab and I got sober.
Okay.
Yeah. Once that kicked, like it was always kind of there, like it was deep down. Like I always was like thinking about these things, like you know, like what is life really about, or like why can't we talk to strangers on the street? Like why do we have to walk by like this? Like, I always was thinking about that stuff, but I never really got into it, you know, until I started working on myself, which started with the sobriety. And then from that, it kind of, I found a relationship with God. I started meditating. I started reading some stuff. I got into AA program, which is very spiritual. Nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with anything like that, but it's spiritual, you know, of power greater than you. And yeah, those ideas start to get in your head.
What sparked the change to you want sobriety?
You know, everybody says like they hit like a bottom.
Yeah, it's usually a rock bottom,
Yeah, they
but
say
sometimes it's not.
But you know, everybody's rock bottom could be different.
Absolutely.
Right?
Sometimes it's just the doctor telling you, you know, your liver or something.
You know, I was getting all that. Like I remember going to the doctor the summer before I got sober, and the doctor's like, you know, you're doing your physical and all that stuff, and you know, when they're like the part they're like, how many drinks you have a week? You know that part?
Oh yeah.
So every time I've done it, every time anybody I know has done it, you always lie.
Of course.
Whatever it
because
is.
the truth sounds insane.
Yeah.
How
Every
many
day.
drinks? I don't know, 60 a week? Like,
Yeah.
How can you narrow that shit down?
Exactly. So this day, I don't know what I was like, yo, why this guy works for me? Like
for me.
like why am I lying? Like this is like he's taking care of my health.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Why am I scared to like not tell him the truth?
Because you knew something was wrong.
yeah.
It's a
You knew
little
something was wrong.
embarrassing to a professional.
So I even still tapered it down, right? But he's like
Yeah, you took it to like the middle
Yeah.
and you was
Round
like,
it
holy
I
down,
tapered
shit.
it down. So bro, I'll never remember.
What would you how much did you taper it down though? Like how many drinks did you cut it back
I
by?
probably dropped it by like 3 or 4.
Okay, that's not that bad.
So check this out. He goes, how many drinks do you have? And I go, about 9, right? And dude, he has his paper. He's writing. He goes, a week? I go, dude, a day. His eyes came out of his fucking head, out of the paper. He's like, a day? Every day? I'm like, yeah, bro. So the number probably was like 12.
15
Yeah, probably like 12. But like he's like, yo, we got to do some tests, man. We got to do some liver tests. And that was like right when like COVID kind of like kicked. So I did the test. But then it was like, dude, those offices were shut down. And you couldn't hear from nobody.
So you didn't get the results.
So I didn't get the results for a while.
Oh my God.
And he's like everything's okay. He's like, but there's signs that things could get really bad. And dude, somebody who's an alcoholic, like that's not gonna stop you. You don't give a fuck. You're like, yo, whatever, man. I'll just make green juice and negate it. Yeah. You know? I'll just eat really clean. And eventually just dude, my attitude started getting really bad. I started getting in like verbal altercations, physical altercations. I just left the restaurant job one day. Somebody said something that worked there to me that I didn't like, and dude, I just left. And it was going downhill way too fast. And I was trying to stop drinking on my own, and I could get a little bit of time, but once something went wrong, I would go right back. So I couldn't do it myself. So I went to rehab.
So it was your
And
choice.
I was encouraged by my family, by my mom, my sister, my brother, everybody was like, you know, because you're ashamed. Like nobody wants to go to rehab, right? It's like, it's embarrassing.
It's absolutely.
And they're like, listen, this is going to be like the best thing like you ever did. And
Did you go in with that mindset that's gonna be the best thing I ever did?
I did.
Yeah, I think that's important.
That's good.
I did. You know, and I was there with some people who were like, you know, I went by choice, right? Where some people are like going there like by the government. You know, like,
court
you
order
gotta
and stuff.
go.
Yeah.
And they just kind of treat it like a vacation. You know, even people who go by their job, right, where their job pays for it.
Yep.
They just treat it like, listen, this is like 2-week break from like my wife. You know, and other people take it serious. And at the end of the day, when you see who's sober and who's not, you kind of know who took it serious and who didn't.
Absolutely. So let's give you a break. Let's jump back to
really.
your self-development. So when you started, what got you into meditation? Like what was the idea that put that in your mind?
It was just, I think, just looking for something outside of what I was doing, right?
Like were you searching online, like for?
No, I just literally laid on my floor, and like no music, nothing. I just laid on the floor of my bedroom and just closed my eyes and just started breathing.
So you didn't think of meditation? I'm meditating. You just wanted time to yourself.
Yeah, just just slow down and quiet my mind a little bit, and then I think it was, the first. For me, at least, for the first 20 minutes, it's kind of just like the monkey mind. It's just like, I gotta do this, I can't, I'm wasting time and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, and this was very evident in the sensory deprivation tank, which I know you've done.
Absolutely.
The first 20 minutes is that, and then all of a sudden the dust settles and everything else starts to percolate up, right? And then you're interfacing with this other version of you that's coming from somewhere that you feels familiar, but you've never met before. And you're having these experiences, call them conversations, or just thoughts and feelings, and you're trying to process that real time, right? I think, I've had amazing experiences in the tank. A few times it was like my brain just Rubik's cubing itself and trying to like put the puzzle together. And I can go into any one of those stories, and they're amazing, beautiful conversations with what I now call God. But I was just trying to peel back, like just learning about myself. I think just kind of feeling this void within myself of saying like this is life. Like it didn't feel right. So I was just I plopped down in my bedroom and lay on the floor, started meditating. And the first meditation I don't think I've ever even shared this, was I was at my own wake. It was really weird. I remember it very vividly. I was almost floating above myself and I saw my nephew, saw everything. It was like the coffin, everything. It was really weird. Not in like a dark way, but I remember it very, very vividly. And I was like, oh, that was weird. Where did I just go? It was almost like a dream, but it was kind of in that lower brainwave state. And it felt like I was just kind of hovering over my own wake. It was weird.
That's deep.
Yeah. And I haven't really assigned a prescription to what that was. But and then just going into the tank and then starting jiu-jitsu was another huge part of that growth and development as an individual, learning more about yourself. I'm very big into chasing the rabbit holes, going deep and peeling back the onion and things that seemingly don't have an end, whether it be psychology, philosophy, religion, jiu-jitsu in theory is like this thing that's always going on. So I'm constantly kind of chasing this dragon that is essentially another version of myself. And that was just an ever-going process.
Yeah. When did you learn about sensory deprivation, and where did you learn about it?
So Joe Rogan was obviously the big proponent of it. He was kind of the catalyst. I remember the first time I was going to book it, I was sitting there and I was like on the fence of. I mean, it's been such a huge impact on my life, but I was on the fence, and I asked myself, I said, "What are you afraid of? Like, why are you not doing it?" And the first thing that came to mind was, I'm afraid of what I'm going to think. And I stopped myself. I was like, well, either way, you're thinking those thoughts. It's happening. Consciously or subconsciously, those thoughts are happening.
But it's easier to distract yourself out in the real world.
Of course. When you're in a sensory deprivation tank, you are interfaced with those thoughts. They just go right here, and now it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like you have to face that. Oh, yeah. And that was my follow-up was like, well, you're thinking those thoughts no matter what. So either you're gonna face them, or you're just gonna operate on this system that's not even you, right? Or you don't even know yourself. So I went to the tank, and the one of like square away, it was that Rubik's Cube of my mind. I was like, oh, there's a lot to peel back here.
Yeah.
And that just became like my addiction is just kind of, my muse, that thing is just always trying to peel back deeper layers of myself.
Any of you ever did psychedelics?
I've dabbled.
I've never done it.
I've dabbled, yeah.
Dabbled in what, mushrooms?
Yeah. And those are definitely open up, but I think that those are still hijacking in some way, shape, or form. Obviously there's an element that's coming in. I think you could get some amazing insight and perspective into yourself through that stuff. But for me, more now, where it's led me is back into church, back into God, knowing that part of me on a deeper level. In a way that I don't think any psychedelic can truly. And I know people have done ayahuasca and all that stuff, and they have amazing, profound experiences. I think that everyone's journey to learning who they are is obviously radically different. But for me, I think that what I get out of that now, religion, reading the Bible, is what I was seemingly looking for throughout all that.
Jesse, are you interested in psychedelics?
I've got some. No, I'm just... Me and Fran did a bunch of mushrooms before we started. The walls are melting.
That's what's going on, right? I'll tell you this, like ayahuasca seems like really dangerous to me, right? Because like I've never done it. I don't want to do it, but it seems like you're going into a place that's not of this earth, right? And other things could be there, like there could be good spirits there could be bad spirits there, but to me, my opinion, like anybody who's like, oh, I'm gonna be there, I'm your guide, like I don't think anybody knows what they're doing really with that stuff. It's just kind of guesswork.
Well, I think it depends on where you go. Like if you're going, I think that there are like some shamans and people that have this experience. It's no different than a priest to some degree, right?
Yeah.
Where they're facilitating, guiding the energy of the room, right? Like it's like a priest orchestrating a mass, right? And again, I agree with you. I think that you're breaking the realm, right? You're crossing into a new realm of reality. But I think in the tank, you've done it. Have you ever done sensory deprivation?
I'm waiting.
Yeah. All right.
Can't
So let's
wait.
just do it.
Yeah.
It's almost very similar to that. Like I've had experiences that are you could explain nothing other than psychedelic, like conversations or thoughts or it's. So I think anytime you and even meditating, you can cross over into another realm.
Yeah, but you do it in this natural state, right? Where you're not
adding something.
You're not putting a substance in you to alter your mind. You're naturally doing it.
Yeah, but is it
okay.
Is it possible that what those psychedelics are doing is putting that state of mind on a fucking freeway, whereas just meditating or sensory deprivation tank is just a slow progression to getting there. Like I've had dreams where I'm in the grid of the Matrix, where it's all is a dream state, but like what you see in the Matrix, right? Literally, I'm standing in what is like almost like when you see Elle in Stranger Things in the upside, it's just black. Everything was black, but then there's the whole grid around me. I'm like, is this an altered state of consciousness that's natural, right? Because I'm just dreaming. I'm laying in my bed, but it's taking me somewhere. And is that what psychedelics is doing? Is just hijacking that part of your brain and putting it on a freeway?
Maybe.
Right.
I don't know much about it. I can't really speak on it. It's something I don't want to mess with because I could get to those places naturally.
Right.
Like I've heard great things about LSD helping people with issues. I don't know much about it. I can't knock it, but I can meditate and be in some pretty wild places. Yeah. Whether I'm floating or, I'm not here and there's conversations. And so for me, there's no reason to use a substance to get there when I can just do it naturally.
But I think also having a recovery story obviously adds to the idea that now you could use this thing as a means of getting into an altered state of consciousness, and that could obviously open up Pandora's box, right?
Yeah, I think it's how clean you are, right? Like, what do you got going on inside you that could block you from going there, right? So so any types of defects of character are going to block you from being able to go to that place. Sure. So like if you're filled with anger, resentment, jealousy, rage, lust, any of that stuff, you're not going to be able to go there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whereas if you slowly get that out of your system, you got a clear path there.
Absolutely, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree 100%.
All that stuff is like toxic chemicals,
Absolutely. All right, let's continue with the self-development conversation. Let's talk about books. Mm-hmm. Let's jump back on Jesse. The first books, I'm assuming, were sobriety books that you got into?
The first books would be before I got sober, I bought a book. It was The Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, that was solid. And then there was basic AA books. I'm not gonna say they're basic because dude, they got all the answers.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's a book called The 12 of 12. There's the big book. There's As Bill Sees It. But like when people think of self-development, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
That's a good one.
Unbelievable. And then I have one that's, I can't remember the name of it. Epictetus. The Art of Living. Oh, it's dope. It's this tiny little book, and it's like 1 page a day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like philosophical. It's from like way back when.
Okay.
The Art of Living, Epictetus.
Nice.
Solid books.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Vinny, what was your book journey like?
Man, all over the place. I think The Alchemist was a big one for me. Nice. The King, the Warrior, the Magician, the Lover, which is kind of all these different archetypes that we take on as men. And then there was a good stretch where I got into like quantum physics and string theory, and The War of Art, The Art of War, both of those, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins was a big book for me. Big Magic. There's a bunch of, I mean, I went on like a real,
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was actually just having this conversation. I always feel that I need, like, I don't know if you feel this way too. I always feel like I need to be reading something. I feel like I'm like, I need to read something, and I'll force myself into a book, and then I'll start it, and I'm like, this isn't, like, I'm not vibing with it, right? And the only thing that I feel compelled to read right now is the Bible. Like, that's just like, the only thing I pick up, I'm like, okay, I want to be reading this right now. It's like it's just brought me to where this is what I need to read. And I think that there's a lot of resistance sometimes where it's like, I need to be reading this personal development book, right? Or like I know the big book in the AA is
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's like these are like some of the biggest personal development books that are known to man. I mean, the Bible's the biggest personal development book, right? But yet I know I do. I feel drawn to, like, I have to read this one by Jordan Peterson or whoever it is, right? It has to be this podcast. But sometimes I think dialing it back to just tapping into what you actually want to be doing versus what you feel compelled to do for whatever reason has been huge when it comes to reading. Because I'll pick up books again for a second time. I'm like, why do I want to read this again? You know?
So where did the self-development lead you guys? What was the big change? What was the big outcome from it?
Dude, I mean, it changes, for me, it changed everything, right? So it's your perspective on life. You get a whole new set of glasses you see the world through, this perception of what you're seeing is really what you are. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if you're nasty and angry, right, all day you're going to see nasty and angry people. If you emit, like, positivity, happiness, laughter, that's what you're going to see all day, Your perception of that, wanting to start your own business, taking chances, facing fear, enjoying the journey, knowing that, this journey there is no finish line, and appreciating that rather than being like, oh, I can't wait to get to this goal. Like, there is no end goal, It's always, all right, I'm going to improve on this. Now I'm going to improve on this. Now I'm going to improve on that, and enjoy that, Enjoy the wins, enjoy the losses, not even see anything as a loss, because if you're learning from it, is it really a loss?
It's a lesson.
Yeah.
How about you, Vinny?
That's something I definitely struggle with for sure is appreciating. I do my best to live in a state of gratitude, but definitely in that next thing, right? Those goals, right? And we all know, like, in theory, I use the remember Scantron tests?
Absolutely.
I always use this as like a frame of reference. Like on a Scantron test, if that was a question, I'd fill in the correct bubble, right? I'd be like, yeah, C, there is no end goal, right? Good. But internalizing that and actually feeling that is a totally different thing. And it's definitely something that I interface with on a daily basis of constantly looking to, like, this is going to be the thing that gets me to being happy or successful. Yeah. And there is, I think, 3D validation with that. Right, there's real world tangibility things that say, yes, you are successful, right? And whatever that shows up. And I think those are important to have those mile markers. But I think knowing that it's always going to be going on. There's always going to be another thing. And then accepting that is a different ball game in its own right. For personal development, I mean, it's been... to your point, it's changed absolutely everything about it. The lens of the way you see life, how I am as a husband, how I am as a father, how I am as a man. It's definitely changed everything. Yeah.
So, was it after your self-development journey is when you started the Council of Dudes?
The Council of Dudes, no. I think it really worked parallel to that. So a buddy of mine was going through a bunch of stuff, and we talk every day. And one day he called me up. He's like, "Hey, you got to start a men's group." And I was like, "I don't know what that means. I don't."
What were you and him doing?
We were talking every day. He was going through some stuff, and I'd call him every day on my way to work.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know. This was probably 8 years ago, and I reached out to a few people I know facilitate for every man, and I was like, how do I run a group? What do I do? And I got a bunch of different tips. I took what I liked. And the first one, I reached out to everybody that I had what I call those great conversations. Like, I think as men, we have like how you doing? I'm good. Okay. Watch the game. All water cooler bullshit. And there's always that, it's almost like that scene in Step Brothers where like they don't know how to hug each other. They're kind of like, okay. I think like I had a lot of those conversations at that point. And I reached out to all those guys. There was like 24 guys the first one. It was at American Legion. I rented out the space. And we all sat around. And I was like, oh, there's something really here. Like this is kind of needed. And we did that throughout COVID. We kept on doing it. We did it on Zoom. We did it at the Jiu-Jitsu Academy. We did it at community spaces in apartment buildings. We did it at a coffee shop. I mean, anywhere we can get it, we did it there. And at one of the meetings, I remember, I tell the story kind of often, but I was sitting there, I was sitting back, and I literally felt and saw this thing going through the room, like this golden thread going through the room. Talk about psychedelic. I was literally sitting back like, whoa. And I was just experiencing it. I was going through all the guys. And I was like, wow. And I went home. I told my wife, I was like, I don't know what I just experienced. I feel so fulfilled. I feel like I had a Thanksgiving dinner. I feel so good. Whatever that is, that's what I'm going after in my life. That's it. I don't know how it's going to show up. I don't know how it's going to manifest. I don't really care. That's the dragon, that feeling. And lo and behold, after listening to Jordan Peterson on Rogan, and doing the psychology journey that I like, it's the golden shadow that Carl Jung talks about. It's like the highest version of yourself. It's a pathway to like redemption of your soul almost. And I've been, in theory, kind of trying to follow that ever since. And the Council of Dudes has just been a part of that growth and seeing guys finding that community, connecting. One guy saying, oh, I've been through this, or I've been through that, or I'm a dad. We do a dad's group too. And, I'm a dad of a 20-year-old, I'm a 6-month-old, a 10-year-old, and you could offer those insights and perspectives to life that I feel like it's our duty. I feel like it's our duty as men and as people to say, hey, listen, look out for this thing coming down the road, right? If you knew there's a cop hitting people for speeding on that side of the road, when you got past him, you start flashing your brights to those people, like, hey, there's a cop. So I feel like that's kind of what the power of community is. And yeah, the Council of Dudes led to Agora, which I was like, there's no place to actually do this stuff, right? We're bouncing around with these nomads. And that led to Agora, and that's where we are now.
Is the reason Agora is black and gold because of the gold you saw at that meeting?
It is now.
Yo, that was a good one.
It is now.
It is now.
That was a good one.
It always was.
Yeah. You know what's funny? So I came up with the logo. I had the logo idea. And it was what it is now, which is the word Agora in between the Parthenon. And I was working with this woman, and we were building the brand and stuff like that. And she's like, no, I don't think it should be that. So she took that and changed it. Long story short, my now business partner, he's like, hey, listen, I think we should switch up the design a little bit. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, send me over what you think. And he sends over, hand to God, the original logo I had in mind. And I stopped. I was like, dude, I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, what? I was like, that was the original logo I had. And the woman was like, no, I don't think it. And I understood what she was saying. And it made total sense at the time. And when he sent it over, I almost like dropped my phone. I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, talk about like those, I call them micro miracles now. Talk about those paths that are leading you somewhere. I was like, well, this is meant to be.
Yeah, 100%.
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was a wild experience.
That's wild.
It was nuts.
Good learning lesson. Fuck everybody else. Trust your gut.
Yeah.
100%.
Just run with it.
Yeah.
It's a men's group. You were getting advice from a woman. That's what
Damn.
it was.
Yeah. Okay, honey. Whatever you say, honey.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse.
That's funny.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Mother, may I?
Jesse,
I'll change my logo.
Yeah, straight up.
Honey.
Yeah.
Let's
It wasn't my
into
wife. It was just the marketing lady.
Honey, do I have permission to go to the Fish concert with the guys?
Oh, man.
Oh.
Linnea Vera Interior Design.
Yeah.
Did this come after?
This is my new project, man.
Oh, it's new.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's new. I can't talk too much about it because there's a lot going on, but it's interior design for commercial spaces, for residential spaces. It's going to be a lot different than other things where, the 4 elements are going to be involved in everything. It's going to be heavy play into how you feel entering the room, more than just how it looks. Form, function, texture, special fabrics, Lots of different projects, lots of different people involved in things. Places people film.
Where did this idea come from?
I had a dream.
My man.
Yeah. And we're running with it.
Very nice.
You know what's funny? It really is that simple at times. Like we
Yeah.
overcomplicate
Yeah.
so much of this shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We really do. If we just get out of our own way when it comes to whatever it is,
Absolutely.
life would be so much easier.
Yeah.
I was actually driving yesterday, and I was thinking of that scene in Fight Club when he's driving. He's like, "Just let go," when he's driving the car.
Yeah.
If we could all just learn not to crash our cars, but to let go and get out of our own way.
Yeah.
I love that. Good
Let
for you,
it
man.
go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So new project.
Awesome. I love
Excited for it. Got a lot of different people involved in it. A lot of help with it. It's going to be a fun journey.
it. Nice.
Got the clothing brand.
Yeah, let's talk about my actually,
yeah.
let's see what you got.
Let's check
me
it out.
here,
Got you a
man.
nice little surprise, my man.
I'm honored, man. I'm definitely gonna wear this.
Bro, you got the
with
Eagle of
pride.
Rome.
Oh, nice.
Love that.
Yeah, front and back.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. What is this? Eagle of Rome, you said?
This is called the Eagle of Rome.
What is it? Is
So
it
this
actual...
design I made up. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
came
I
in
thought
my
it was
head,
like something to
but,
do with Rome.
But you know, the eagle was used in Rome forever. You know, as a
okay.
symbol
Okay.
of like virtue, honor, strength.
Okay.
You'll see if you watch like all those like shows, you'll see like these guys holding this staff with this giant like gold eagle. So yeah, it was a symbol of Rome for a long time.
Nice. Tell us about the origin of Malocchio lifestyle.
You know, Malocchio is an Italian word, and it means evil eye, right? So it could go two ways, right? Evil eye could be something you give somebody, right, which would cause them harm, or evil eye could be something you use as protection from getting the evil eye, so to negate it. So depending how you want to look at it and how you want to use it is how it could be, good or evil. I was trying to come up with a name for the clothing brand, and I'm like I wasn't getting anything distinct, you know? Nothing that kind of stood out and nothing that was kind of like something I knew, like you had to be in the loop. And I was coming up with really like corny stuff, like 46 Red. Yeah.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, just like horrible names. And then it just clicked, you know? And I was like, that's it.
Isn't it like
And you just kind of know.
You kind of know.
Yeah.
So for Agora, I was at my day job and I was like, what was the place the philosophers used to meet in ancient Greece? And I went, typed it in, it came up Agora, and I was like,
You're like, that's it.
That was like,
Yeah.
there was no other question. Again, getting
That's
out of
it.
your own way.
Yeah.
Right? It was just like not overthinking it, just going with that inclination. And yeah, same thing.
And not trying to twist it into more.
Yeah.
Like Agora for the masses. Or
Right.
like wrecking it, right?
Right.
And just leave it like that.
Boom.
You
Yep.
know?
Nice.
Yes, hey, dear. It's a clothing brand. We're on like our third collection, pretty much. It's guys and girls T-shirts, hats, sweatshirts. Gonna get into some tote bags, some socks, but right now is what we got. Distinct, unique designs. Don't go out of style. Everybody will notice you when you wear the stuff.
Where you design
Yeah,
them?
yeah. So this is the Sophia. The first sweatshirt.
The Sophia.
And if you know, you know.
I love it.
I don't need to explain.
So you do the designing, or
Yeah.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
What are you doing on the computer?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Everybody thinks I'm nuts because I do it in Photoshop.
Why think you're nuts? Because AI now exists.
No, because like, you know, traditional people would probably use Illustrator to kind of line stuff up perfect. Where I don't really want my stuff to be perfect. I want it to be natural, you know? And I just do it by eye. I don't try to make it perfect.
I like that. What's the goal with it?
The goal is create a loyal fan base, be able to donate to drug and rehab facilities as much as we can. Right now, we donate to St. Vincent's Drug and Rehab Facility. A portion of the proceeds goes to them every sale, but I want to get big enough that we could do more, you know? So not just do St. Vincent's, do another one, do another one, do another one.
I like that.
Yeah,
Very nice.
that's it.
Vinny, what's the big goal with Agora?
Yeah, I mean, multiple facilities throughout the country. Right now, we're working on a project, in expansion. We're looking at our second location in Westchester. Massive overhaul. Really give guys a central hub. It's an awesome space, 6,100 square feet, full coffee bar, podcast studio, gym, recovery, barbershop, mats for yoga and jiu-jitsu, sensory deprivation tank. So one-stop shop, community workspace, and really host a lot of events and community for men and women. Obviously I'm not trying to, keep them out, but I think that the point is, I think that when women are around, men's egos inflate in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter. And I think that to get back to the men before men, now not like the men of like the 70s and, not those guys, but the stoics, right? Getting back to that, that mind, body, spirit, and finding community of guys and just, giving guys a space where they can really be themselves and peel back the layers and learn about themselves through insights and perspectives through others. Because I'm sure, the three of us all, these are things that I needed and still need, right? When you hear about this, suicide statistics and the men's loneliness epidemic that's going on, and, just how men are graduating college less and starting less families, like it's hard to be a human. It's hard to be a man. It's hard to be a woman. It's just hard to be a human. And I think that, some of the best things that I've done as a man involve me getting outside of my comfort zone, if not all of them. And I want to motivate and inspire other people through other people to do the same thing.
I love it. Jesse, let's jump into morning routines.
Oh.
When did that start? Why did that start? And what do you do?
It started, I would say, in rehab, right? Because you're on a very strict schedule. There's things you have to do, there's things you shouldn't do. There's no like clowning around. It's like you eat at this time, you're going to this class, you have physical activity, then you're having lunch, there's a meeting at night. Everything is mandatory. There's no like optional shit. Like it's not like, oh, I don't want to do that. No, like you're doing it. And like that's it. There's yoga, there's meditation, like you're doing all this shit. So that kind of gave me that structure. And while I was there, you're there with different people who are like coming in before you and who have already been there. So, I'm talking to guys who are leaving and they're on their way out, and I'm just there, kind of new, and they're like, you know what? Like what we're doing every day, I think I'm going to just keep doing it on my own because it works, So that idea got in my head, and I was like, okay, like I'm an alcoholic. Like I have like a reckless mind. I need structure. You know what I mean? I can't be free, because if I'm free, I'm going to think of dumb shit and do dumb stuff. So it started really simple, and it really started with this idea of if you get your mind in the right state in the beginning of the day, everything else will be fine, So it's kind of, something physical, something mental, something spiritual. And that's it. Those three things, pretty much, however you want to do it. You do one thing from each of those categories in the morning before you're really into your, let's say, work day, right? Because that's pretty much what people consider like your day. You're pretty good to go. Something physical, something mental, something spiritual. That's it.
Do you think it has to be the same time every day? Like, are you one of these guys that has to wake up at like 4 a.m? And
I like to wake up at 4.
4.
Yeah.
How's sleeping on the floor by the way?
I do it pretty much every other night.
Yeah.
Sleeping on the floor is very gratifying.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but you're on the floor, and I'm not saying you're grounded because you're not touching the ground, the earth, but it's just comforting down there. I don't know why. And then
It's cooler down there.
maybe that's what
We
is.
do sleep better in cooler
Maybe,
environments.
but
That might be
you
it.
feel like your body is like aligning, like while you're down there. Like things that are soft are getting used to hardness, and I feel like some things are coming out of you. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I feel like things are coming out of you. The con is, which I still haven't decided yet, is like, are you really getting the same type of rest you're getting when you're in a bed? Because I'm not in as deep a sleep I am when I'm on the floor.
Oh, so it's not that good then.
I don't know.
Sleep is the most important thing we do every day.
I don't know. I have to give it more
You
time.
need like a whoop or something to measure like the depth. Yeah, get like a whoop or something to measure like the depth of
I
sleep.
need to do like a better test than just like.
Yeah, like he was saying, the Whoop band, or they got the ring now.
Yeah, Oura rings and stuff.
Yeah, I need to do a better test.
That'll be the factual test right there.
But for me so far, there's pros and there's cons. So far, the pros have outweighed the cons.
It's physical, I feel that. Well, I've only heard it's good for your back.
Yeah, I imagine.
How straight you're laying down. And do you do it on your back or the side or what?
I'm all over the place. I start.
Yeah, that's how I start too. Like,
I start on the back, and then I kind of end up on each side. And the first couple nights I did it, the hips, like it was like I was sore, bro.
Yeah, I bet.
But dude, that goes away fast.
Really?
And that's the whole thing, is like, just because you're getting sore, it hurts, right? It doesn't mean it's bad for you. It kind of means those body parts are weak.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got to build them up. The same thing happened to me with burpees, where it was like the beginning, my ankles hurt, my joints hurt, my knees hurt, everything hurt from doing them. And I could have been like, oh, my lower back hurt from doing it. And I could have been like, this is no good for my body. I'm never going to do burpees again, right? Like 3 days in. But instead, the way I looked at it was, okay, these things are sore because they're not strong.
Right.
They're weak. They're not used to this bouncing, this pounding. They're not used to this stretching. And, dude, after a certain amount of time, which was not much, there was no pain in joints, knees, or lower back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What is your morning routine like? 4 a.m. is very early.
I like to take my time. You know,
Okay.
I don't like to rush. I like to go easy. I'll wake up. I'll like get in a state of gratefulness. So I'll probably thank God for what I have. I'll do some type of meditation. I might make juice. I might not. Try to make juice for like 3 days worth, you know. I might take an ice bath. I might not. I'll prep food and everything for work, clothes for work, everything. Read something interesting, probably like 5 minutes worth of it. Go to the gym, be physical, do some type of exercise, go in the steam room, do some type of meditation in the steam room, get something to eat, and go to work.
You prefer the steam room over the sauna?
I only have the steam room.
Okay.
If it was up to me, I would do both.
Vinny, what's your morning routine like? And when did it start and why did it start?
It started because everyone else did it, and I was like, I should be doing this
All
shit.
the
Good
cool
answer,
kids are
good
doing
answer.
it.
Good answer.
I was like, oh, well, it seems to be working for everybody else. I should probably do it. It's changed so much over time, to be honest with you. I used to do the 4 a.m. Workout, cold plunge, sauna thing, which I think there's a lot of good in that. I really enjoyed myself when I was doing that. That was definitely a season of my life that I felt good. But again, it changes. Right now, my current morning routine is 3 days a week. I wake up at 4 a.m. I go to jiu-jitsu at 5. That's Monday. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And then the other days are kind of X factors. I hate to say it, but the reality is they can be X factors. So some mornings I'm up early and I'm on a treadmill running or hitting a workout in, and some mornings I'm not. It usually is rooted somewhere around what you were mentioning, some type of reflection, meditation. Usually first thing I open my eyes is just thank God for giving me a day, ask him to protect my family, and just put me where he wants me to be. And then it's right to the coffee pot. I drink a lot of coffee, pour a cup of coffee, and then on the days I go to jiu-jitsu, it's just I'm still in my pajamas basically going to jiu-jitsu. And then the days I just train, I'll try to get in like a little sauna session in between there. I usually don't eat until like 11. You know, I kind of try to do some intermittent fasting. That's it. I'm trying to be more understanding, which is a rough place to be, with myself, and being okay with not just being like every day 4 o'clock gotta go. I think there's a.
I think that's like what he's talking about is like that's the next level. That's the advanced shit.
Yeah.
Is when you don't have to be in this phase where you're like, I do A, B, C, and D every day at this time. Like when you can get.
You're saying which is the next level?
When you get to the level where you're like, I don't have to do A, B, and C every day. Like,
oh, thank you. I think it's the opposite.
No, it's where you're cool with that.
The grass is always greener.
And it doesn't bother you.
It
right?
bothers me, but I accept it. Like
where you're like, listen, like it's okay. Like
yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's advanced. shit.
Thank you. I for a long time and probably up until this very moment, I look
when
at it as
you run
weakness,
like every day I do this. Like it's fear of something going wrong because you didn't do it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
It's advanced.
It's a great perspective. I honestly don't. I look at it as like, oh fuck, I missed it. I used to be way harder on myself. If I missed the gym, I would just mother f myself all day long, and I really would. I would talk to myself so poorly. Like I was going to CrossFit like 5 a.m. I'd wake up if I missed that class. The way I'd speak to myself was
butt,
dude,
really bad,
it was so bad. And then I think just one day I was like, dude, that's like not cool. Like chill out, man. Like it's relax, bro. Chill out. But thank you because I really don't like. I still have a relationship with it where if I don't wake up, certain days like Monday or whatever it is, I definitely feel like But having kids, I do the morning routine. My kids get them ready for school and stuff like that. The days that I do get ahead of the day, get into the Bible early, get a workout in. Get the juices flowing, they are significantly better than the days that I don't. Just, I'm not playing catch up all day. I feel like I'm ahead a little bit. But.
Definitely like, I would agree. Like if I'm praying, if I'm reading something spiritual, right? Less things bother me throughout the day.
Yeah, that's probably it more so than the workout.
Yeah.
Any kids? You want kids or anything? Wife?
Whatever
kids,
God wants, man.
Okay.
Whatever God wants me to have a kid, I have a kid. God wants me to have a wife, I have a wife.
Nice.
Whatever he wants to bring my way.
Isn't that such a
cool either way?
I gotta be honest with you, and like, I've had this more, I guess you could call it like take the wheel type of scenario approach to things, and it is a much better way of living.
Why? Who wants to make decisions? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's it. And I'm a very indecisive person. They used to call me Vin Decision in high school because I couldn't make any decisions in my life. I was so bad at making decisions. So indecisive.
Well, what they say in AA is like, listen, you've made decisions for yourself like your whole life, and how did those work out for you? You know?
Well, it's man plans, God aligns, right?
Yeah, and part of that is like dropping your ego and dropping your pride, right? Where you're not playing God. You're not the greatest thing. You're not in charge. You're not running the show. And
that goes into what we were talking about before, right? Like before you got here, Mr. 20 minutes late.
Extremely punctual.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon.
Why did you turn to Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs?
I don't know.
We were talking about the ego, right? And it's such a wrestling match because you need that ego to. I mean, you wouldn't be starting a clothing brand. You wouldn't be on these new adventures. It's about wrestling with your ego in a sense and keeping it in check a little bit. That's hard, man.
Definitely.
It's hard.
It really is. Is there anything I didn't touch on that we should cover?
We can talk about my podcast.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Dude, I got the podcast, New Lease on Life.
New Lease on Life.
Yeah.
I like that name.
So it comes out on special occasions from time to time. Right?
Just like you arriving on podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, it's all the guests on it are sober people who have amazing lives, and they just kind of show the world like, you can have a sober life, not be boring, have more fun doing that than drinking.
So everyone on your show is someone that became sober or was always sober also?
Either way.
So I was on the show, and I never went through any type of addiction to drugs or alcohol. And I haven't, I think this month marks 3 years since I've had a drink.
Really?
Yeah, I don't drink. I stopped drinking. I had 2 conversations with people that are way smarter than me. One's like one of the leading heart surgeons probably in the world, but in the country for sure. And he's like, yeah, I stopped drinking, like the cognitive disadvantage that you're at with 1 or 2. I was like a 1 or 2 drinker, go out for dinner, have a couple drinks, we go out, casual, super casual. I was like, well, if this one of the smartest people I know says he doesn't need to drink, I certainly don't need to drink, right? So I think this month, we're in December, is 3 years since I've had a drink.
Amazing.
Yeah. But I didn't, but I was on his show and I didn't have a recovery story, but I could sell, like I don't, and it's funny because I think we spoke about it. When you don't drink and you go out, I can't tell you how long, probably 2 years, right? 2.5, whatever it was, people are like, oh, you haven't drink? And then you say no, like, now my wife does, I mean, if we go out for dinner, my wife doesn't even say, oh, you haven't, like, first maybe 3 months or whatever it was. She's like, I haven't drank. I'm like, no. Now people just know I don't drink, you know?
Yeah, you're better off not drinking.
I was never a big drinker. I was like, what's the point? I don't, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but it's a great podcast that he does, and it's a lot of those stories are very inspiring.
Next one's coming out with Sean OC. So
Love Sean.
Nice.
be out soon.
Sean's great.
I'm excited for it. How about your podcast? How's it going, and what's the goals for it?
Oh man, it's been going for a long time, and like I said earlier, it's the muse, so it's not going anywhere. It's the non-negotiable in my life. It comes out every other week. Council of Dudes on all platforms. Just did one with Sean Martin, who has a book coming out. We just scheduled ours, so I really love this. I love learning about people, diving into it. The unfolding of the unknown through conversation is probably, again, that rabbit that I chase. It's the ultimate version of it. It really is just like this constant exploration of that. So the podcast is that. So yeah.
I love it. We're nearing the end of the podcast. If you could please let the people know where they could find you, anything you have coming up you want them to tune into, and any last words.
Check me out, MalocchioLifestyle.com for the clothing. New Lease on Life on YouTube and all the other podcast things. And all the other platforms, like Vinny says, you know what I mean? And yeah, check out Vinny. Check out my interior design, Linea Vera. And check out Franjez and Vinny.
What do we got? Council Dudes podcast and men's group on all podcast platforms. Council Dudes men's group. We do men's groups, dads groups over at Agora Social Club. That's all at agorasocialclub.com. And we are currently on WeFunder. So in part of this next exploration, this next phase, we're giving people investment opportunities to join the mission. And that's over at WeFunder.com/Agora Social Club, where people can actually invest in the next phase of Agora. And that's pretty much it, man. Thank you so much for having me. And
it was a pleasure. This conversation was great. I loved it.
I look forward to having you on.
Grateful to be here.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It was a great conversation. And thank you, everybody that watched. Peace and love.